Good morning. Today we'll be studying the first chapter of Shevitat Asor, and these set of halachot deal with the ceasing of melacha on Asor, or the 10th of Tishri, and the 10th of Tishri is also known as Yom Kippur, and Harambam organizes Yom Kippur across three sets of halachot, reflecting the three different aspects of Yom Kippur that we have in the halacha. The first aspect is L'chot Teshuvah, which we studied a few months ago already. The second aspect is Shevitat Asor, ceasing from Melacha, and the three chapters that we'll do in these set of halachot will obviously talk about that. And the last aspect of Yom Kippur, which Harambam will deal with, Be'ezrat Hashem will get to it, is the Avodah, in Hilchot Avodat Yom Kippurim. And the following set of halachot, Hilchot Shevitat Asor, again, will deal with the ceasing from Melacha on the Asor, the 10th of Tishri. Hilchot Shevitat Asor, Yesh Bichlalan Arba Mitzvot. There are four mitzvot in these set of halachot. Shete mitzvot aseh u'shte mitzvot lo ta'aseh. V'zehu piratan. Two positive mitzvot and two negative mitzvot. And the following are their details. Lishbot bo mimelacha, to cease from transformation, as we talked about in Hilchot Shabbat. Melacha is a type of prohibited transformation. Bet shelo la'asot bo melacha. Second, to refrain from doing melacha. So you have the positive aspect of ceasing from melacha, and the negative aspect of ceasing not to do melacha, similar to what we had in Hilchot Shabbat. Gimel hit'anot bo, to deprive oneself, and it will be defined in the halachot to come. Ve dalid shelo le'echol ve'lishtot bo, not to drink or eat during the Asor. Ube'or kol mitzvot ha'elu bifrakim elu, and the clarification and expansion of these mitzvot are in the following chapters. And just a note in regards to the inui, the deprivation of oneself, the purpose of the inui is not to afflict purposely and to cause suffering for us. Rather, the purpose of the inui is to detach ourselves from physical delights and comforts, and to allow us to reflect on ourselves and our nefesh, which isn't physical, and to motivate us to do teshuvah. Hilchot Shevitat Asor, Perek Aleph. מצוות עשה לשבות ממלאכה בעשור לחודש השביעי שנאמר שבת שבתון הוא לכם. It is a positive instruction to cease from melacha on the 10th day of the 7th month, as it says, Shabbat Shabbaton hu lachem. It is a day of ultimate Shabbat, of ceasing, of stopping. V'chol ha'aseh bo melacha bitel mitzvat aseh ve'avar al lo ta'aseh. And anyone who did melacha has failed to perform a mitzvat aseh and has actually transgressed a mitzvat lo ta'aseh. Shne'emaru ve'asor kol melacha lo ta'asu. As it says, and on the 10th day you shall not do melacha. Uma'u hayav al asiyat melacha b'yom zeh. And what is a person liable for if he does melacha on this day? Im asa birtzono bezadon hayav karet. If he did so willfully, he is hayav karet, as we talked about in Hilchot Teshuvah. Karet is when a person's nefesh is cut off from olam haba. And again, this is all assuming if he did not do teshuvah. Ve'im asa bishgaga hayav korban hatat kivua. If one did so unintentionally, for example, if he forgot that the 10th of Tishri was Yom Kippur, or he didn't know that a certain action is a melacha that is prohibited, that's what Shegaga is defined as. Hayav korban hatat kivua, he is obligated to bring, he's liable to bring a korban hatat kivua, which is a set korban, irrelevant of one's financial situation, in contrast to a korban ole veyored, as he'll see Be'ezat Hashem in Hilchot Shegagot. Bet. Kol melacha shechayavim al zedonah b'Shabbat sekila. Now, just a quick note. Here, Harambam is going to tell us the difference between Shabbat and Yom Kippur, and this is the last sentence of the halacha is straight out of a Mishnah in Masechet Megillah in the first chapter. Any melacha that one would be liable if done willfully on Shabbat, he would be liable sekila. On Yom Kippur, he would be liable for karet. Anything that one would be liable for bringing a korban hatat on Shabbat, he would be liable to bring a korban hatat on Yom Kippur. וכל דבר שאסור לעשות בשבת, אף על פי שאינו מלאכה, אסור לעשותו ביום הכיפורים. And anything that is prohibited midirabanan, as we talked about in Shabbat, when it says asur, it's asur midirabanan, לעשותו בשבת, אף על פי שאינו מלאכה, even if it is not directly a melacha, again midirabanan, אסור לעשותו ביום הכיפורים. It is prohibited from doing on Yom Kippur. ואם עשה, מכין אותו מכת מרדות כדרך שמכין אותו על השבת. And if he did so, he is lashed for violating something from the sages, as we talked about. Makat mardut is one is brought to the court, and the court determines how many malkut he gets, in contrast to someone that receives that is lokeh, that is 39 lashes. And so too, anything that is prohibited to be carried on Shabbat is prohibited to carry it on Yom HaKippurim as well. And so too, anything that is prohibited for one to say or to do a priori on Yom Kippur, for example, it is asur to tell a goy to do a melacha for you on Shabbat, it's prohibited to do on Yom HaKippurim as well. Just note how beautifully Harambam here went through all of the different situations and punishments on Shabbat and different dinim on Shabbat, went through each one by one and applied it to Yom Kippur. And this is again from the Mishnah and Masechet Megillah in the first chapter, Halacha He. כאלו של הדבר, אין בין שבת ליום הכיפורים בעניינים אלו, אלא שזדון מלאכה בשבת בסקילה, וביום הכיפורים בחרט. The rule is on Yom Kippur that there is no difference on Shabbat for Yom Kippur in terms of melacha, in terms of things that are prohibited, except that if one does something willfully on Shabbat, he would be hayav sekila, and on Yom Kippur, if done willfully, he would be hayav karet. And again, there are 39 things that one would be liable karet for, and doing melacha on Yom HaKippurim is one of them. Halacha Gimel. Now Rambam is going to give us a qualification for what we just said in terms of melacha on Yom HaKippurim. Halacha Gimel. ומותר לנקב את הירק ביום הכיפורים מן המנחה ולמעלה. Now, it is allowed to do nikuv on a plant on Yom HaKippurim from minha onwards, and minha is 9.5 hours into the day. ומהו הכינוב? שיסיר את העלין המעופשות ויקצץ השאר ויתקן אותו לאכילה, וכן מפצחין באגוזין ומפרידין ברימונים מן המנחה ומעלה מפני עוגמת נפש. And what is this kinuv that we're referring to? It is when one removes the dried leaves from a fruit or vegetable, which is asur midarabanan on Shabbat, and to cut the rest of the fruit and prepare it to be eaten. This would probably be a melacha of tohen, v'katzes ha'she'ar v'yitaken oto la'achila. And yasir te'alin ha'me'upashot might be under the melacha of borer, and so too to remove the shells of nuts, to crack open certain nuts, and to open pomegranates from the minha mala, which is 9.5 hours into the day. And this is extremely interesting that we don't want someone to be preoccupied with food and to be so distracted in terms of preparation for food and if a person will have something to eat immediately after the fast. So Chachamim allowed for one to prepare these types of foods, again from the minha onwards, in order for a person to have some food ready immediately after the fast, so he doesn't suffer during the fast and have anguish to have anguish during the fast. ביום הכיפורים שיכול להיות בשבת, אסור בכניבת ירק ופציעת אגוזים ופרירת רימונים כל היום. However, if Yom Kippur was on Shabbat, it is prohibited to do this kinuv, again to remove the leaves and to cut and prepare these types of foods to be eaten. So too it is prohibited to crack open nuts and to cut open a pomegranate all day. And however, the Minhag Rambam notes in Babylon and in the countries in the east, probably referring to Africa, North Africa, Morocco, is that they would not do any of these three things on Yom Kippur, and they would consider it Yom Kippur Shabbat they would consider Yom Kippur Shabbat and they would consider Yom Kippur as Shabbat in every aspect, and not allow themselves to do one of the melachot or things that are asumi d'Rabbanan on Shabbat on Yom Kippur. Now we're going to speak about the Shevitat me'achila u'shtiyah, which is to cease from eating and drinking on Yom Kippur. And we'll see there are a couple of other items that are prohibited as well that we'll get into in the next few chapters. Mitzvat aseh acheret yesh b'yom kippurim. There is another positive precept on Yom Kippur. And that is to cease from eating and drinking. As it says, to deprive one's nefesh, one's self. It was transmitted through the Torah Shebe'al Peh. The deprivation for oneself is to fast. And anyone who fasted on Yom Kippur fulfilled a positive precept. Anyone who ate or drank on it failed to perform a mitzvat aseh and actually transgressed a mitzvat lo ta'aseh. And it says, following the first pasuk that we said, anyone who does not deprive oneself will receive karet. מאחר שענה שכתוב כרת למי שלא נתענה, למדנו שמוזהרים אנו בו על אכילה ושתייה. Now, after the Torah described the punishment of karet for anyone who did not fast, we learn that there is a positive command, there is a positive mitzvah to not to eat and drink. So we're cautioned from eating and drinking from the mitzvot lo ta'aseh. And actually, Harambam in the opening of Sefer HaMitzvot talks about this mitzvah, and he says, and he lays out a principle, en onshin ela imken mazhirin, that we don't punish unless we warn. And only in regards to Pesach and Milah is there karet for a mitzvah lo ta'aseh. And here, the karet is on the lo ta'aseh. only Pesach and Milah there's karet for mitzvat aseh, and here the karet punishment is in regards to the negative precept. So despite the fact that there is not a positive precept explicit in the Torah to fast or to not to drink or not to eat, because there is a punishment of karet on anyone who did not fast, who did not do this inui, we learn that there has to be a positive mitzvah and warning that en onshin ela imken mazhirin of not eating and not drinking. הלכה ה' וכן למדנו מפי השמועה שאסור לרחוץ בו או לסוך או לנעול את הסנדל או לבעול ומצווה לשבות מכל אלו כדרך ששובת מאכילה ושתייה. And so too we were also taught through the oral tradition. Notice again how Harambam copied the language and said mipi hashemu alamdu from the previous halacha, that it is prohibited to wash oneself, and we'll see exactly what that means and all of what these mean in the third, all of what these elements mean in the following chapter. Not the following chapter, in 2 chapters. Perek Shelishi. Prohibited to wash or to anoint oneself with oil, or to wear certain types of shoes, leather shoes, in fact, or to have marital relations. And it is a precept to cease from all of these, just as it is a precept from ceasing from eating and drinking, as it says Shabbat, Shabbaton, as the double language of Shabbat. Shabbat the inyan melacha. When the pasuk said Shabbat, the first Shabbat, it is referring to those prohibited transformations. Shabbaton the inyanim elu, and the second Shabbat, because of the repetition of Shabbat Shabbaton, Hachamim learn that the first Shabbat is referring to the prohibited transformations, and the second Shabbaton is for these 5 things. And again, the 5 are to wash, to anoint with oil, to wear leather shoes, and to have marital relations. 4 things. And the end, hayavin karet or korban ela al achila ushtia. However, one is only liable for karet or a korban if he ate or drank. Aval imrahat osach or na'al or ba'al makinato makat mardut. However, if one washed or anointed with oil or put on leather shoes or had marital relations, he receives the punishment of makat mardut, which is for transgressing something of the rabbis. Now, this halacha is subject to much debate. It seems from Harambam that these isurim are asur mehat Torah. They're prohibited from the Torah. This is also the opinion of the Geonim, namely the Shevitat and Parashat Beracha, who wrote also that these 4 inuyim are mideoraita. However, the only for eating and drinking, one would receive karet and it would be liable for the korban. And there are other rishonim, namely Rabbeinu Tam, that disagree and say that these inuyim are midrabanan. However, it seems that Harambam's opinion is that these inuyim are midoraita, just from the way he formulates this halacha. He says, mitzvah lishbot mikol elu kederech sheshovet me'achila ushtiya, the same way that it is a mitzvah to cease from eating and drinking. And also, the same language used in the previous halacha. That is the opinion of many scholars of Harambam, including Rav Nahum Rabinovich of Ma'ale Adumim, the author of Yad Pishuta as well. Halacha Vav. Now we're going to get into something extremely interesting called Tosefet Shevitat, the addition of ceasing from melacha on Yom Kippur. And I just want to make note that this Tosefet, this addition from the Hol to the Kodesh on Yom Kippur, is only applicable according to Harambam on Yom Kippur. We do not have this Tosefet for Tosefet Shabbat, or Tosefet Yom Tov, or Tosefet of anything else. This only applies for Yom Kippur. Some Chachamim apply it to Shabbat and to Yom Tov as well. However, Harambam, it seems, would not ascribe to doing that. כשם ששובת ממלאכה בו ביום שובת מלאכה בו בין ביום בין בלילה, כך שובת של העינוי בין ביום בין בלילה. Just as it is, one ceases from melacha on that day, both in the day and the previous night. So the fast and the ceasing from melacha starts from sunset of the 9th day of Tishri, or the start of the 10th day of Tishri. He also must begin the deprivation from the night before and obviously during the day. And one must add to the day of Yom Kippur from the regular days to the sanctified day of Yom Kippur at the get-go and at the back end. And you shall deprive yourselves on the 9th day in the evening. Why? So Chachamim make note that why does the Torah tell us B'tish'al HaChodesh ba'erev? Obviously, if it's the 9th, it is obviously beginning at night, because so they say that the addition of erev is where we learn that one must add a little bit mechol ad hakodesh. As if to say that one must begin fasting from the eve of the 9th, close to the 10th. So again, just like we do it today, so we start the fast from Shekiah of the 9th day of Tishri. And so too at the back end. שוהה בעינוי מעט מלילי 11 סמוך לעשירי, שנאמר מערב עד ערב שתשבתו שבתיכם. So too, again, the exit of Yom Kippur, one must stay a little bit in his deprivation, a little bit, from at the eve of the 11th, close to the 10th. As it says in Erev ad Erev tishbetu shabbatichem, that your fast must be from evening to evening. And Harambam, again, note, does not give a specific time. He says shoheh be'inuyom me'at. He must deprive himself a little bit, and I myself am not sure exactly the time. You can ask your local Orthodox rabbi for that. But Harambam says be'inuyom me'at, a little bit, whatever a little bit means. So again, Yom Kippur, the fast and deprivation of Yom Kippur begins from the eve of the 9th, as everyone knows today, as we all do it. The eve of the 9th for 24 hours until the 25 hours later. נשים שאוכלות ושותות עד שחשיכה, והן אינן יודעות שמצווה להוסיף מחול לקודש. Those women who eat and drink until it gets dark, and they don't know that it is a mitzvah to add from the hol on the kodesh, meaning to add and to supplement a little bit on Yom Kippur. And memachin beyadan, we do not protest them. שלא יבואו לעשות בזדון, שהרי אי אפשר שיהיה שוטר בבית כל אחד ואחד להזהיר נשיו. That we don't protest their actions, because in order for them not to come to do what they're doing, meaning to eat and drink when we add from the Hol and the Kodesh, so it seems possibly from Harambam that the Osif Mechol HaKodesh is prior to Chashecha, right, which would be from sunset. Yeah, which would be from sunset. Again, so we don't protest their actions in order for them not to come and eat and drink willfully. because it's impossible for one to assign a policeman in his house in order to go and caution his wives, because the men would typically go to Beit HaKnesset at that time, and the women would continue eating and drinking until after חשיכה. והנח להן שיהיו שוגגין ואל יהיו מזידין. וכן כל הדומה לזה. And this is a famous Gemara in Betza, Daf Lamed Amud Aleph, that we allow for these types of people to transgress unknowingly, and we in order for them not to transgress willfully. So, for example, these women that would eat and drink until Hashikha, that don't know that it is a mitzvah to add from the whole on the Kodesh, we do not protest them in order for them not to eat and drink willfully, thereby being over intentionally, because it seems that these women would eat and drink regardless if you would protest them. And when Harambam says that he's referring to anything that you know that that if you tell a person and they won't listen and cause them to do something willfully, it is better to leave them to do it unintentionally and not for you to inform them and for them to do it intentionally. And there's a Gemara in Yevamot Daf Samechei Amud Bet that says, "Keshem shemitzvah al adam lomar davar nishma, kach mitzvah al ha'adam shelo lomar davar she'eno nishma." And it's echoed in Hilchot Deot that we studied, Perek Vav, that just as it is a mitzvah to tell someone something that he'll hear and he'll process and he will actually follow through in doing, it is also a mitzvah on a person not to say something that won't be heard. So it seems that anytime you have the opportunity to tell someone something and you know that they won't listen, even though you tell them and cause them to do their action purposefully, it is better for one to leave them and for them to continue doing whatever they're doing unintentionally and not to come and do it intentionally. Be'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow we will study Perek Sheni, which deals with the fast itself.